Hello students, this is grade 10 physics class, chapter 10, light reflection and refraction. Last class we have seen the factors affecting the focal length of spherical lenses. Am I right? Yes. So what are the factors which affect the focal length of spherical lenses? First one factor, what is that? That is refractive index. Am I right? Yes, refractive index, that is first one. And second one, the curvature of the spherical lenses. What is that? Curvature of the spherical lenses. Is it clear? Yes. Then after that we have seen rules for obtaining images formed by spherical lenses, especially convex lens only. Am I right? Only convex lens. Is it clear? Yes. Totally how many rules are there? Just 3 rules are there. Okay, just 3 rules are there. For images obtaining formed by convex lens. Am I right? So what is first rule, sir? What is first rule? First rule is very easy. A ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis, it passes through its focus on other side after refraction through a convex lens. This is first rule. Am I right? Yes. Second rule, what is that? Second rule actually the reverse case of first rule. Reverse case of first rule. Is it clear? Yes. What is second rule, sir? Second rule is very easy one. A ray of light which passes through its focus, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis after refraction through a convex lens. Am I right? Yes. This is second one. What is the third one, sir? Third one also is very easy one. Third one, a ray of light passing through the optical center of convex lens goes straight after refraction through a convex lens. Is it clear? Yes. Totally 3 rules are there for obtaining images formed by convex lens. Is it clear? Only convex lens. Is it clear? Yes. In this session we are going to start the rules for obtaining images formed by concave lens. Am I right? What is that? Concave lens, because the convex lens rules already we have seen last video class. In this session we are going to start the concave lens image formation, which means rules for obtaining images formed by concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. Let's get started. Look at here. Today we start with rules for obtaining images formed by concave lens. What is that lens? Concave lens. Okay. So like convex lens, the concave lens also has 3 rules, same 3 rules. Is it clear? We will see one by one. Okay, today we are going to start with a next topic, that is rules for obtaining images formed by concave lens. Is it clear? In the last class we have seen the rules for obtaining images formed by convex lens. In this session we are going to start for concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. First rule number 1. What is that? Rule number 1. Is it clear? Yes. First draw a concave lens. Yes. This is a beautiful concave lens. Am I right? Yes. This is a beautiful. Yes. So look at, consider a concave lens. Am I right? Yes. The center part of a concave lens, what is that? That is optical center. Am I right? Yes. So optical center is denoted by the letter capital O. Am I right? Yes. Next, an imaginary line which passes through the optical center. An imaginary line which passes through the optical center, that is, what is that? That is principal axis. Is it clear? Consider x, y, that is principal axis. X, y, principal axis. Am I right? Yes. This is principal axis. Next, consider the center of a concave lens. So this is center of concave lens. This is center of a concave lens. Is it clear? So look at here. This is rule number 1. Consider concave lens. This is a concave lens. Why it is called concave lens? Because this lens has the flexed out shape, which means flexed in shape, which means curved in shape. That's why it is called concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. The center part center point of a concave lens, that is optical center. Optical center is denoted by the letter capital O. Am I right? Yes. So next look at here an imaginary line. An imaginary line which passes through the optical center, that is principal axis. What is that? Principal axis. So x and y, that is principal axis. Okay, for our convenience I have taken x and y. What is that? That is principal axis. Is it clear? Yes. Next one, what is the component? Next is there is one a very important component. What is that? That is focus. Am I right? Yes, focus. So it is focus. This is focus. This second focus, actually this is second focus, and this is first focus. The two foci are placed at equal distances from the optical center. Am I right? For example, if the distance between O and F dash is 2 cm, so what about the distance between O and F dash? So this is F. This is F and this is F dash. What about this O F dash? That is also. So this is F and this is F dash. That is also 2 cm. Is it clear? Here, the two foci are placed at equal distances from the optical center O. If OF dash value is 2 cm, then OF value will be 2 cm. The two foci are placed at equal distances from the optical center. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. First rule. What is the first rule in convex lens? Convex, if the ray of light is parallel to the principal axis, it passes through its focus on other side. Alright, that is first rule. Here also that rule is possible. Okay, here also that rule is possible. So look at here, consider a ray of light. Consider a ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis. What is that? Consider a ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis. So this is principal axis, this is ray of light. Am I right? Yes. I am going to give a name for that ray of light. Consider this A and this point B. This point B, okay, which means the center point. The center point on the concave lens. Center point, okay, not this optical center here. In the surface, center point. Is it clear? Yes. Consider a ray of light AB which is parallel to the principal axis XY. Parallel to the principal axis X. Y. Is it clear? Yes. Here this ray of light which fall on the surface of the concave lens. Alright, what is the next move? They have to enter. Okay, it has to enter into the concave lens. Alright, because concave lens is made up of a transparent medium. Is it clear? Yes. Consider here the ray of light which fall inside the concave lens. You may ask me, sir, this is surface. Alright, so this is surface of the concave lens. So why the ray of light which falls inside the concave lens? Why? Because already I thought that the thickness of the concave lens, not only concave lens, generally spherical lens, the thickness of the spherical lens is very small. Very small. Actually, that rate is 10 power minus 3 meter. How much? 10 power minus 3 meter. That is the thickness of. That is the thickness of the spherical lenses. Am I right? For example, this mobile phone has camera. This is camera. Okay, do you think this camera thickness will be like this? This camera thickness will be like this, which is very large size? No, that's not possible. Look at here. This camera is very small one. Very minute thing. Am I right? Here, this camera thickness, this camera contains lens. That lens thickness actually that is 10 power minus 3. 10 power minus 3 meter, which means that is very small thing. The clear the thickness the lens thickness very small. That's why we can consider a ray of light which fall inside. What is that? Inside the spherical lenses, but here inside the concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. So what is the next move? So this ray of light should enter into other medium, which means other medium. What is that? Air medium. Am I right? Yes. So here refraction takes place. Refraction takes place at the point B. Am I right? At the point B here. Point B. Okay, so after refraction, what will happen? After refraction, that ray of light direction should change. Am I right? Yes. So look at here. So this is concave lens. What is concave lens? Concave lens is a diverging lens. Am I right? Concave lens is a diverging lens. So after refraction through a concave lens, this concave lens diverges. What is that? This concave lens diverges the ray of light. Look at here. So after refraction, okay, refraction takes place where? Refraction takes place at the point B, okay, which means inside the concave lens. So after refraction, ray of light direction should change. Alright, that is refraction. Alright, that is refraction. So after refraction, the concave lens diverts the ray of light. So after refraction, the ray of light direction becomes, what is it? C, BC. BC is a refracted ray. Is it clear? Yes. But look at here. If we extend this refracted ray backside like this, it appears to be coming from its focus. It appears to be coming from its focus. This is first rule. Okay, so what is that? This is first rule for obtaining images formed by concave lens. This is first rule of concave lens image formation. So very simple. Okay, I'll repeat it. Consider a concave lens. So this is concave lens. Why it is called concave lens? Because the two surfaces are fluxed in shape, which means curved in shape. That's why it is known as concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. The center part of a concave lens, that is optical center. Optical center denoted by letter O, capital O. Next one, an imaginary line which passes through the optical center, that is the principal axis. So X and Y considered as principal axis. Is it clear? Yes. Next one, focus. Which is first focus in concave lens. In concave lens, focus is formed. Focus has been formed. Same side of the where the light rays are coming from. Is it clear? Which means this one. So this is first focus and this is second focus. So first focus denoted by letter capital F and second focus denoted by letter capital F dash. Is it clear? Yes. Next, consider a ray of light. This is ray of light. Consider a ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis. Okay, so XY is the principal axis. So this ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? Yes. So this ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? So this ray of light falls on the surface of the glass, which means what is that? Concave lens. Am I right? Concave lens. So what is the next move there? It has to enter into the concave lens. Am I right? So here, this ray of light falls inside. What is that? Inside the concave lens at the point B. What is that? At the point B here. Is it clear? So refraction takes place at the point B, which means inside the concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. So refraction takes place here. So after refraction, what will happen? After refraction, that ray of light direction should change. That is refraction principle. Am I right? Yes. So concave lens is a diverging lens. Okay, concave lens is a diverging lens. Am I right? So after refraction, this concave lens diverges. The concave lens diverges the ray of light. Is it clear? Yes. So after refraction, the ray of light direction becomes BC. Okay, is it clear? This is BC. So BC is a refracted ray. Am I right? Yes. So look at here. If we extend this refracted ray at back side, at back side, this is front side, this is back side. This refracted ray BC appears to be coming from its focus. Okay, this is focus. F is a focus. So if we extend at back side, if we extend the refracted ray BC at back side, it appears, note this word, it appears to be coming from its focus. This is first rule. Is it clear? So this is first rule for obtaining images formed by concave lens. Is it clear? Yes, very simple. Okay, I will write on your board. You look at here. First rule, a ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis. Parallel to the principal axis of concave lens, it appears to be coming from its focus after refraction through it. After refraction through it. Look at here. So this is first one. This is first rule. So very simple. What is first rule? A ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis of concave lens, it appears to be, look here, it appears to be coming from its focus. But it appears to be coming from its focus after passing through the concave lens. So this is first rule, very very important rule. Don't get panicked. It's very easy one. Is it clear? It's very very easy one. So next we will see that is second rule. Is it clear? So what is first rule, sir? The first rule is very easy one. A ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis of a concave lens, then it appears, it means appears to coming from its focus after refraction through it. That is first rule. Am I right? Yes. Next, let's start with second rule. What is that? Second rule. Second rule also is the reverse case of first rule. Okay, like convex lens. Is it clear? Second rule also reverse case of first rule. Is it clear? Yes. Consider concave lens. Yes. Consider concave lens. The center point of a concave lens, what is that? It is optical center. So optical center is denoted by the letter capital O. Am I right? Yes. Next, an imaginary line. An imaginary line which passes through the optical center, that is principal axis. Am I right? Principal axis. Consider as that is X, Y. X, Y, so that is principal axis. That is principal axis. Very simple. Is it clear? Yes. Next one, which is first focus. Yes. First focus, which is placed at left side of the concave lens. So this is first focus, and this is second focus. Okay, two foci are placed at equal distances from its optical center. Am I right? Yes. Okay. So now let's start with rule number 2. Consider concave lens. The center point of a concave lens, that is optical center O. Next, an imaginary line which passes through the optical center, that is the principal axis X, Y. Is it clear? Next, F and F dash both are, what is that? Focus. Here two foci are placed at equal distances from optical center O. Is it clear? Yes. Listen here, the second rule, actually this is a reverse case of first rule. Reverse case of first rule. What is the first rule? If a ray of light is parallel to the principal axis of concave lens, it appears to be coming in its focus. Am I right? That is first rule. But in second case, if a ray of light is passing towards its focus, what will happen? That is second rule. That is second rule. You may ask me, sir, this is focus, sir. Am I right? So this is focus, sir. Then why is a ray of light which passing towards the secondary focus, sir? Okay, even though there is secondary focus, both are focus of concave lens. Is it clear? So if a ray of light passes through it, it will not strike on the lens, concave lens. Okay, that's why I am going to take the second focus. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. So, second rule, what is that? A ray of light going towards its focus, which means secondary focus. Look at here. So, a ray of light, yes, a ray of light going towards, what is that? Towards its focus. Consider this is focus here. This is focus here. Consider the focus of a concave lens. Then it becomes parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? Yes. So consider this is center point of a concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. So this ray of light which fall inside the concave lens. Am I right? Yes. Consider I am going to give a name for the ray of light. Consider this is A and this is B. A and this is B. Is it clear? Yes. So, a ray of light which is going towards focus, what is this focus? Towards focus, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis. That is second rule. Am I right? So, consider a ray of light AB which fall inside the concave lens at the point B. At the point B. Am I right? So refraction takes place at the point B. Am I right? Refraction takes place at the point B. After refraction, what will happen? After refraction, this ray of light AB direction should change. Am I right? AB direction should change. That is the principle of refraction. Am I right? Yes. So after refraction, look at here, very important. After refraction, a ray of light AB direction changes, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis. What is that? Parallel to the principal axis. This is second rule. Okay. So after refraction, the ray of light direction changes, then it becomes BY. BY is a refracted ray. Is it clear? But it appears to going towards the focus like this. Like this. But look at here. But actually a ray of light AB cannot go through the focus because concave lens is a diverging lens. It diverges all parallel beam of light rays, generally all light rays after passing through it. Alright. So after refraction, the concave lens diverges, which means changes the ray of light, then it becomes BY. It is parallel to the principal axis, but appears to going towards its focus. This is second rule. Very simple. But this is second rule. Okay, so consider concave lens. So this is straight line in the center, which means the middle point of the middle line of the concave lens. Is it clear? Next, consider ray of light. This is ray of light AB. This ray of light AB falls inside the concave lens. So refraction takes place at the point B. Point B is the inside of the concave lens. Is it clear? So refraction takes place at the point B. Is it clear? Yes. So due to refraction, what will happen? So due to refraction, the ray of light direction should change. Am I right? So concave lens is a diverging lens. So after refraction, the ray of light becomes parallel to the principal axis. After refraction, the ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis. Is it clear? Yes. So BY. After refraction, the ray of light AB direction changes into BY. Is it clear? BY. So BY here, BY is a refracted ray. What ray? Refracted ray. Is it clear? But it appears to going towards its focus. Is it clear? So this is what is that? This is second rule. A ray of light. Look at here. A ray of light going towards its focus. All right. A ray of light going towards its focus. Then it becomes parallel to the principal axis after passing through it. Which means after refraction through the concave lens. This is second rule. Very simple. I'll write here. Look at here. A ray of light passing through its focus of a concave lens. Focus of a concave lens. Going towards the focus of concave lens, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis after refraction through it. Okay, a ray of light passing through towards its focus of concave lens, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis after refraction through it. This is second rule. Okay, look at here. A ray of light passing towards focus. A ray of light passing towards its focus. This is focus here. Towards its focus of concave lens, then it becomes parallel. Then it becomes parallel to the principal axis after refraction through a concave lens or through it. So this is second rule. Second rule actually is the reverse case of first rule. Is it clear? So very simple. You copy in your classwork notes. Okay, all ray diagrams should be clear in your classwork note. Okay, so this is second rule. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Yes. Next we will see third one. Okay, third rule. Next one, what is that? Third rule. The third rule for obtaining images formed by concave lens. Is it clear? So what is the third rule? Third rule in convex lens. Third rule in convex lens, that is very easy one. What is that? A ray of light passing through optical center of convex lens goes straight after refraction. That is third rule for convex lens. Am I right? This the third rule same for even concave lens also. Is it clear? Third rule same for even concave lens also. Is it clear? Yes, we will start that. So rule number 3. Consider a concave lens. Consider a concave lens. This is concave lens. The center point of a concave lens, that is optical center. So optical center is denoted by the letter capital O. Am I right? Yes. Next, an imaginary line which passes through the optical center, that is principal axis. Yes. Yes. This is principal axis. This is what? The principal axis. So consider principal axis X, Y. That is for our convenience. Okay. So this is principal axis. Principal axis. Alright. Yes. Next, which is first focus? Yes. First focus is placed at left side of the concave lens. Yes. So this is first focus and this is second focus. Here two foci are placed at equal distances from the concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. Very simple. Next, the straight line which connects the end to end of the concave lens, that is, what is that? Center. The center line, the center part of a concave lens. Is it clear? So that is also for our convenience. Okay? So now we are going to see what is that? Rule number 3. Rule number 3. What is the rule number 3, sir? A ray of light that is goes through the optical center of concave lens, goes straight. That is third rule. It's very simple. Okay, like as concave lens, third rule. Am I right? Yes. Sorry, convex lens, third rule. Consider a ray of light. Consider a ray of light. Okay, I am going to give a name for that ray of light. Consider this A. Is it clear? So this is ray of light. So consider a ray of light. That ray of light which fall at optical center of a concave lens. Optical center of a concave lens. That is what will happen next. What will happen next? Okay. Here the direction should change. Am I right? Because if your light goes from class medium to class medium, what will happen? The ray of light direction should change. But in this case, whenever light goes through the optical center of spherical lenses, not only for concave lenses, both spherical lenses, then light will go in a straight line. Okay, there will not be no bending of light, which means there will not be refraction. So that is a special property of this optical center O. Is it clear? So whenever light goes through the optical center O, there will not be any refraction, which means there will not be any bending of light. Light remains will go in a straight line. That is a special property of this optical center O. Is it clear? So what is the next move? Next, what will happen? Next, remind the light will go in a straight line like this. Like this. Is it clear? So this optical center O. Okay, consider ray of light AO. That ray of light which fall at optical center O. What is that? Optical center O. Is it clear? Yes. Then after refraction, actually there will not be refraction. Is it clear? So after passing through the optical center, light will go in a straight path. There will not be any refraction, which means there will not be any bending of light. That is a special property of this optical center O. Is it clear? So a ray of light passing through the optical center O, then light goes straight after refraction through a concave lens. That is third rule. Is it clear? That is third rule. Very simple. I will write it theory. Look at that. A ray of light passing through a optical center O goes straight after refraction through a concave lens. So this is third one. Okay, this is third rule. Third rule for obtaining images formed by concave lens. What is the third rule, sir? A ray of light passing through. Look at here. A ray of light passing through a optical center O goes straight after refraction. What is that? Goes straight after refraction through a concave lens. This is third rule. This is third rule. Very simple. Very easy one. Is it clear? Okay. What is the first rule? Okay. Still now we have seen three rules. Three rules for obtaining images formed by concave lens. Is it clear? What is the first rule, sir? A ray of light which is parallel to the principal axis of concave lens, it appears to be coming from its focus. Okay, it appears to be coming from its focus after refraction through it. That is first rule. Am I right? Yes. What is second rule, sir? Second rule actually is a reverse case of first rule. Is it clear? A ray of light going towards this focus of a concave lens, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis. That is second rule of concave lens. Is it clear? Then what is the third rule here? Third rule, a ray of light passing through the optical center. What is that? Optical center O goes straight after refraction through the concave lens. So this is third rule for images. Third rule for obtaining images formed by concave lens. Is it clear? So very simple. So don't get confusion. Okay? Yes. So this optical center has a special property. What is the property? So whenever light goes through the optical center, there will not be any refraction. Light will go in a straight line. Only straight line. So there will not be any refraction, which means bending of light. Light remains will go in a straight path. That is a special property of this optical center O. This is not only for concave lens. This is possible for even convex lens also. Both spherical lenses. Is it clear? So very simple. So don't get confused. Okay. So till now we have seen three rules for obtaining images formed by concave lens as well as convex lens. Is it clear? Yes, very simple. Don't get forget. These three rules are very important. Then draw the all diagrams in your class book note neatly. Is it clear? Yes, use scale pencil. So with the help of these rules, with the help of these three rules, now we are going to make, we are going to construct ray diagrams. What is that? Ray diagrams, very important one. Look at here. So we have seen rules for obtaining images formed by convex lens as well as concave lens. Okay, so with the help of these all rules, now we are going to construct ray diagrams. What is that? Ray diagrams, then image formation, so many things. Is it clear? Yes. First, now we are going to construct the ray diagrams for convex lens. Is it clear? What is that? Convex lens. In next class we will construct the ray diagram for concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. First one, convex lens. So image formation by convex lens. What is that? Image formation by convex lens. Okay, so with help of ray diagrams. Very simple. You don't need confusion. Is it clear? Yes. So in order to start the ray diagrams, which means image formation, you should know the difference, the relation between the radius of curvature and the focal length. What is that? The relation between radius of curvature and focal length. Is it clear? Yes, look at here. Relation between radius of curvature, so radius of curvature and focal length, and the focal length of spherical lens. See, this is not only for convex lens. This is not only for convex lens. Okay, even this is possible for even concave lens also. Is it clear? Yes. First, we are going to see what is the image formation by convex lens. Okay, but so I am going to take convex lens. Is it clear? Yes. So before starting ray diagrams, we should know something. What is that? That is the relation between radius of curvature and the focal length. Radius of curvature and the focal length. Very simple. You look at here. Yes. See, already we know the spherical lenses are bounded by two spheres made up of glass. Spherical lenses, both convex lens and concave lens, bounded by, which means formed by two spheres made up of glass. Am I right? Yes. Look at here. Consider sphere. This is one sphere made up of glass. Am I right? Yes. Consider another one sphere. Consider another one sphere that is also made up of glass. So this is sphere 1. This is sphere 2. This is sphere 1, that is sphere 2. Both spheres are made up of glass. Am I right? Look at this. When two spheres made up of glass overlapping each other, which means connecting each other at end to end. So this is one end of a sphere and this another end of the sphere. So when two spheres made up of glass overlapping each other, which means connecting each other at end to end, which makes convex lens. Am I right? Which makes convex lens. So this middle part looks like what is a convex lens? Am I right? Yes. Which makes what is that? Convex lens. Is it clear? Yes. So this convex lens has what is that? Center. Am I right? This convex lens has center. What is that? That is optical center. So the center point of convex lens, that is optical center. Optical center denoted by the letter capital O. Capital O. Am I right? Yes. Next, look at here. So this is one sphere and that is one sphere. This first sphere has center. Am I right? This first sphere has center. So this is. That center is known as, what is that? What is that? You know that? Yes. That is center of curvature. So this first sphere center, that is known as center of curvature. Center of curvature is denoted by the letter C, capital C. Is it clear? Yes. Okay. So, but we have two spheres. So, first sphere center points considered as center of curvature 1. So that is C1. Is it clear? That is considered as C1. Is it clear? Yes. Likewise, second sphere also has center. Alright, second sphere also has center point. So this is center point. Alright. So this sphere, second sphere, center point considered as center of curvature 2. Alright. This is center of curvature 2. Is there any doubt? No. Look at here. Consider two sphere. This is one sphere and that is one sphere. Two spheres made up of glass. So here the two spheres are overlapping each other, which means connecting each other at end to end. This is one end and that is another one end. Is it clear? Yes. So when two spheres are overlapping each other, which make convex lens. Alright. So this middle part, that is convex lens. So this convex lens has center point. That center point is called optical center. Optical center is denoted by the letter capital O. Can you see clearly? Yes. Next one. So the two spheres have, what is that? Center point. Center point. So that is known as center of curvature. So this is first sphere center of curvature C1 and second sphere center of curvature C2. Is it clear? Yes, very simple. Okay? Yes. Next one, an imaginary line which connect the all points, which connect the center of curvature and optical center. What is that? That is principal axis. Very simple. Look at here. Yes. So this is imaginary. An imaginary line which connects, okay, which passes through the center of curvatures and the optical center, that is principal axis. That is principal axis. Very simple. Center of curvature 1, center of curvature 2. Is it clear? It's very simple. Don't get confusion. Am I right? Yes. Next one, there will be another one important component, important term. What is that? There will be very important. Very important term, component. What is that? That is principal focus. Am I right? There will be principal focus. Look at here. Here, the principal focus is presented. Look at at middle. Okay, at middle point of the O and C1. Okay, the principal focus always placed between O, which means optical center, and the center of curvature, which means here. So this is focus. Is it clear? Here also, the focus which is present between the O and center of curvature. So this is what is that? Focus. So this is first focus and this is second focus. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Look at here, very simple. The focus are always located between the optical center and the center of curvature. Is it clear? So even this sphere also, this is for sphere 1, even sphere 2 also. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. But already we know the distance between the center of the optical center and the center of curvature. What is that? That is radius of curvature. Am I right? The distance between the optical center O and the center of curvature F, that is known as, what is that? Radius of curvature. Am I right? Yes. This is radius of curvature. Distance between the optical center and center of curvature, that is radius of curvature. So radius of curvature denoted by the letter R. So here we have two radius of curvature because two spheres converge together, which means overlapping together, which makes what is the convex lens. So we have two radius of curvature. Am I right? Yes. Radius of curvature. Very simple. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. So already we know this focus is placed. The focus is placed between the optical center O and the center of curvature C. Center of curvature C. Is it clear? Yes. Actually, the focus is placed. Okay, equal distances. Okay, so equal distances between the optical center O and the focus, which means the distance between F dash and O. What is that? F dash and O, which means focus and the optical center will be equal to the distance between focus and the center of curvature. Very simple, very important point this, you note this. The distance between, look at here, the distance between the optical center and the focus will be equal to the distance between the focus and the center of curvature. So, look at here. So already we know what is the distance between the optical center and focus, that is focal length. Alright, that is focal length. So, if OF dash is focal length, what about the F dash and C1? That is also focal length. Is it clear? That is also focal length. Very, very simple. Don't get confusion. Look at here. I am repeatedly telling that the distance between OF dash will be equal to the distance between F dash and C1. F dash and C1. So if the distance between OF is 2 centimeter, what about the distance between F dash and C1? That will be 2 centimeter. There is no change. There is no change. Very, very simple. Don't get confusion. Is it clear? Yes. But already we know the distance between optical center and the focus, that is focal length. That is focal length. The focal length is denoted by the letter small f. Am I right? Yes. So this is focal length. This is focal length. Look at here, the distance between optical center and focus, that is focal length. Focal length denoted by the letter F. Am I right? So, yes. If OF dash value is F, what about the F dash and C1? That value also will be F, because here both distances are same. Am I right? Both distances are same. So the distance between F dash and C1 will be F, that is small f. That is small f. Very simple, you don't get confusion. This is not only for first sphere, even that is for similar for even second sphere also. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. The distance between O C1, that is R, that is radius of curvature R. So O C1 is equal to R. Am I right? So which means the distance between optical center and the center of curvature 1, that is equal to radius of curvature R. Am I right? Radius of curvature R. Am I right? Yes. But look at here. So this distance between O C1, which means optical center and center of curvature, which is equal to OF dash plus C F dash C1. Am I right? F dash C1. Because the sum of two distance which is equal to radius of curvature. Am I right? The sum of two distances, which means OF dash and F dash C1 is equal to radius of curvature R. Am I right? Yes. So OC1, which means the distance between the optical center and center of curvature, which is equal to OF dash plus F dash C1. F dash C1 is very simple, very important one. Very important one. Look at here. Is it clear? So what is the OF dash value, sir? Which means what is the distance between optical center and focus? That is focal length. Already we know clearly. So OF dash is equal to F. Okay, F. What is F? F, which means focal length denoted by the letter F. Yes. Next one, if OF dash value is F, what about the F dash and C1 value? That will be F, because the two distances are equal. Is it clear? Two distances are equal. So F dash C1 is equal to F. Is equal to F. Very simple. Okay. Now substitute the R values in this equation. Substitute the R values, this value and that value in this equation. We can get R that is equal to, okay, R, which means OC1 is equal to R. So RC1 that is equal to OF dash value how much? F plus F dash C1 value, that is also F. Am I right? Yes. So F plus F, which is equal to 2F. So R that is equal to 2F. So this is very important formula. Okay? I write here. R that is equal to 2F. R that is equal to 2F. What is that meaning, sir? What does it mean R equal to 2F? Which means the radius of curvature. Which is equal to twice of its focal length. Okay, twice of its focal length. That is the meaning. Is it clear? So R that is equal to 2F. What is R? R means nothing but the radius of curvature. Am I right? What is radius of curvature? The distance between optical center and the center of curvature. That is radius of curvature. So this radius of curvature, which means R, which is equal to twice of its focal length, which means that is equal to the distance between OF dash and F dash C1. That is a meaning. Is it clear? That is a meaning. It's very simple. Don't get confusion. So this is a relation between the radius of curvature and the optical center. So R that is equal to twice of its focal length. Is it clear? Twice of its focal length. Very simple. Don't get confusion. Okay. So look at here. So if F value is, which means the focal length is 5 centimeter. If focal length is 5 centimeter, so what about the radius of curvature? So R that is equal to F. So 2 into 5 centimeter, that is equal to 10 centimeter. So R value will be 10 centimeter, which means the radius of curvature will be 10 centimeter. That is the meaning. Very simple. Is that clear? Yes. Suppose the radius of curvature is 10 centimeter. Suppose the radius of curvature is 10 centimeter, which means R value is 10 centimeter. R value is 10 centimeter. Am I right? So what about the focal length value? F value. Find the F value, which means focal length value. So we know F value. So when this one comes, what will happen? R by 2. So 10 divided by 2, which is equal to F. Then F will be equal to 5 centimeter. That's all. Very simple. Is it clear? So now keep this concept. The radius of curvature, that is equal to twice of its focal length. Okay, which means 2 times its focal length. Is it clear? What is that? 2 times its focal length. So if the focal length value is 2 centimeter, so what will be the radius of curvature? 2 into 2, that should be 4 centimeter. Is it clear? 4 centimeter. So if it is 2 centimeter, that will be 2 centimeter. So 2 centimeter plus 2 centimeter, that is equal to 4 centimeter. Is it clear? So very simple. Okay. So but look at here. So the center point of a convex lens, that is O. Alright, that is O. F is a, what is the focus? Focus of a concave lens. But I am going to take this center of curvature as 2f dash. What is that? 2f dash. Even here also I am going to take 2f instead of C2. Okay, if you take center of curvature, which means see, it is not wrong. That is also right. But for my convenience, I am going to take, this is considered as a 2f dash, that is 2f. What is 2f? 2f means nothing but twice of its focus, which means twice of its focal length. Here also twice of its focal length. Okay, if you take center of curvature 1, center of curvature 2, that is not wrong. That is also right. Okay, for my convenient, even in our NCERT book also they have given 2f dash and 2f. Is that clear? Yes. So keep this all mathematical concepts in your minds. Very simple. With the help of this one, we are going to make a ray diagrams. We are going to make an image formation. Is it clear? Very simple. Yes. So now we are going to make a very interesting one. So very interesting ray diagrams, which means image formation by convex lens. Now in this section we are going to see only image formation by only convex lens. Next section we will start concave lens. Is it clear? Yes. First consider a convex lens. Consider what is lens? This is convex lens. Am I right? Yes. The center point of a convex lens, what is that? That is optical center O. Optical center. Am I right? Yes. Next, an imaginary line which passes through the optical center. An imaginary line which passes through the optical center. What is that? That is principal axis. That is principal axis. Am I right? Yes. Look at here. Next, what is this point? That point is focus. That is focus. And even left side also there is one focus, that is secondary focus. Secondary focus of convex lens. Is it clear? Yes. Just now we have seen what is 2f and 2f dash. Is it clear? What is 2f? 2f means nothing but that is twice of its focal length. Twice of its focal length. Okay, for example, the distance between optical center O, optical center and the focus, that is focal length. Am I right? So there will be twice of focal length, that is 2f. 2f, this is 2f. 2f, is it clear? Look at here, the OF value, okay, the distance between O and F will be equal to the distance between F and 2f. Is it clear? F and 2f. Very simple. But the overall distance, the distance between O and 2f, that is radius of curvature. Alright, that is radius of curvature. But the distance between OF, that is focal length. So if OF value is focal length F, what about the F, 2f? That is also F, which means focal length. So this is twice of its focal length. Am I right? Yes. Even left side also there will be 2f dash. 2f dash. Is there any doubt? Very simple. Look at here. Consider a convex lens. Consider a convex lens. The center point of a convex lens, that is optical center O. What is that? That is optical center O. Is it clear? Yes. Next one, this point. This point is focus. That point is focus. This is the first focus of convex lens, and F is the secondary focus of convex lens. Am I right? Yes. There is another one term. What is that? This is center of curvature. Okay, there is center of curvature, and this is also center of curvature. Okay, we can call it as even C1, C2, C2 or C1. No problem. We can call that. Okay, we can say this is the center of curvature or center of curvature. For our convenience, I have taken twice of its focal length. What is that? Twice of its focal length, which means 2f and 2f dash. Okay, if you mention center of curvature 2, center of curvature 1. That is not wrong. You can mention that, no problem at all. Is it clear? For my convenience, I have taken the twice of focal length like that. Is it clear? Yes. Here, look at here. The distance between 2 f dash will be equal to f dash and O. Here also the distance between OF will be equal to f to f. All distances are equal. Is it clear? All distances are equal. So when you construct the ray diagram in your notebooks, that should be very clear as well as neatly. Okay, so don't make a mistake. So don't draw in a pen, a rifle, and so many things. Okay, use scale pencil. Is it clear? Yes. Next one. Next very important one. So why do we need the ray diagram? Why do we need ray diagram? Why do we construct the ray diagram? Why do we need to construct the ray diagram? Why? Okay, for example, I am going to place the object at focus. Where? At focus. Do you know where will be the image formation? Where will be the image formation? Do you know nature of the image formation? Nature of the image? Do you know the size of the image? No, we don't know. Okay, you don't know. Even I am also don't know that. Is it clear? Suppose the object is placed at 2f. Object is placed at 2f. Do you know where will be the image formation? Which means position of the image? Do you know position of the image? Don't know. Do you know nature of the image? Don't know. Do you know size of the image? No. To find that, to describe that, we need ray diagrams. So we need image formation. Is it clear? To describe, to identify the position of the image, size of the image, and nature of the image, we need ray diagrams. Is it clear? We need ray diagrams. Very important one. Is it clear? Let's get started. First thing, I am going to place the object at infinity. Where I am going to place the object? I am going to place the object at infinity. Is it clear? Yes. First one, what is that? So when the object placed at infinity, where? Here the object placed at infinity. Is it clear? So when the object placed at infinity, where will be the image formed? Is it clear? So with the help of the three rules, we can find the position of the object, nature of the object, as well as size of the object. Is that clear? Yes? Let's get started one by one. So before starting that, I am going to make a tabular column. Okay, tabular column to find the position of the object, size of the object, then the nature of the object, so many things. Is it clear? Yes, look at here. I don't have space. Object placed at infinity. First one. Position of the image, sorry, position of the object. First thing, position of the object. Next thing, position of the image. Position of the image. Nature of the image. Nature of the image. And last one, size of the image. Last one, what is that? Size of the image. Very easy. Look at here. First one, position of the image. What is the position of the where we place the object in front of the where we place the object from the convex lens. That is position of the object. Next one, position of the image. Position of the image. If you place the object, somewhere. Okay, somewhere from the convex lens, where will be the image form? Where will be the image form? That is position of the image. Alright. Next one, what is the nature of the image? What is the nature, sir? Nature means whether it is real image or virtual image. That is nature. Alright. Whether it is real image or virtual image, that is nature of the image. Alright. Next one, size. What is size, sir? Whether it is smaller than the object size or larger than the object size. Okay. That is size of the object. Next we will see one by one. Is it clear? One by one. Yes. Look at here. First, I am going to place the object at infinity. Where? At infinity. Look at here. Consider an object placed at infinity. Object, where is the object? Object placed at infinity. Here, at infinity. Object placed at infinity. Is it clear? So, light rays are coming. Light rays are coming from an object placed at infinity. So already we know, whenever light rays are coming from an object placed at infinity, it will be parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? It will be parallel to the principal axis. Is it clear? So very simple, don't get confused. Is it? Yes. Consider this is center point, center line of the convex lens. This is for our convenience. Okay, look at here. Object placed at where? Object placed at infinity. So light rays are coming from an object placed at infinity. So whenever light rays are coming from an object placed at infinity, it will be parallel to the principal axis. Is it clear? So here, which is principal axis? So this line is the principal axis. Okay, line is connect the focus and optical center, that is called, what is the principal axis? Am I right? Yes. So consider two light rays. Consider two light rays. What is that? Consider two light rays. Both light rays are parallel to the principal axis. Parallel to the principal axis. Okay. Now use first rule. Now you can use first rule. What is the first rule? If a ray of light is parallel to the principal axis of convex lens, it will pass through its focus on other side. Am I right? It will pass through its focus on other side. That is first rule. Am I right? Yes. Here we can use that rule. Is it clear? Yes. Consider two ray of light. This two ray of light falls on the surface of the convex lens. Next, what happened? Here refraction takes place. Refraction takes place inside the convex lens. So after refraction, these two parallel light rays pass through its focus on other side. This is focus. Am I right? Yes. Look at here. Sorry. Yes. Two light rays pass through its focus on other side. Look at here. Okay. So look at here. So already we know what is the rule. What is the rule to form an image? What is the rule to form an image? An image is formed where two refracted rays intersect together. Am I right? An image is formed where two refracted rays intersect together or meet together or converge together. Okay, there will be image formation. Is it clear? So this is refracted ray. Both are refracted ray. So this refracted ray meet at a point on focus. Where? On focus. So where will the image be formed? Where will the image be formed? At focus. Here, image formed at focus. Is it clear? Image formed at focus. Very simple. Okay, so this is first one. So when the object is placed at infinity, when the object is placed at infinity, then the image is formed at focus. Image is formed at focus. So this is first case. Very simple. So the image is formed at focus. At focus. Next question rising here. Whether it is virtual image or real image. That is question. Whether it is virtual image or virtual image or real image, which is right one. How can we say that? How can we say whether the image is virtual image or real image? Already you studied clearly in the topic of spherical mirrors. Look at here. Once again I will recall it. If the image is formed above the principal axis, look at here. If the image is formed above the principal axis, that is considered as a what image? That is considered as a virtual image. Am I right? That image is considered as a virtual image. Suppose the image is formed below the principal axis, that is considered as a real image. Am I right? That is considered as a real image. All real images are inverted images. Am I right? All real images are inverted images. Already we know very well. Okay, look at here. But here the image is formed where? On the focus. Okay, on the focus, which means on the principal axis. So this image also considered as a what image? That is real image. What is an image? That is also considered as a real image. So if the image is formed on the principal axis or below the principal axis, that is considered as a what image? Real image. All real images are inverted images. Is it clear? So very simple. So this is first one, don't get confusion. This is first rule. What is the first rule? First rule, what is that? So when the object is placed at infinity, then image is formed. Image is formed where? At focus. Image is formed at focus. Is it clear? Yes. Look at here. Next question is yes. What is the size of the image? What is the size of the image? Look at here. The image formed here. Actually, the image size is very point size. Am I right? Image size is very point size. Okay. So compare the object size. Image size is very small. So that is considered as a diminished, which means highly diminished. You already studied that. I mean, that is highly diminished. Very simple. Okay, so I am trying to fill the tabular column. You look at here. So what is the position of the object? Position of the object at focus. At infinity. At infinity. So position of the object where? So we place the object at infinity. Am I right? Then the position of the image position of the image. So where the image is formed? Image formed at focus. So position of the image at focus. At focus. Is it clear? Next, what is the nature of the image? Nature means what is whether it is real image or virtual image. That is nature. Here this is a real image or virtual image. So this is real image because here the image is formed on the principal axis. So it is considered as a real image. So real image are inverted image. So real and inverted image. Real and inverted image because all real images are inverted images. Is it clear? Yes. Next one, size of the image. What is that? Look at here. So this image, size of the image, how much? Size very small. Very small compared to an object. For example, sun. Let's take example sun. Sun is a very big object. Sun is a very big object that is placed where it is far away from the convex lens. Okay, even though we know the distance between the sun and the convex lens, that is considered as a infinity. That is considered as a infinity. Am I right? Here the sun size is very large. Sun size is very large. Okay, if you focus the all light rays with help of the convex lens, we can get only one point. That is focus point. That is focus point. Here the image is formed at focus. What about the size? That is size very small compared to sun. That size will be very small compared to sun. Am I right? Sun is the very biggest object. So here, so what about the size of the image? That is highly diminished. That is highly diminished. What is that? That is highly diminished. So this is image formation by convex lens. So very simple. Is it clear? So very simple. You don't get panic. So here, look at here the object placed at where? Here the object placed at infinity, but image has been formed at focus of a convex lens. Where? At focus of a convex lens. Is it clear? It's very simple. So what is the position of the object? Position of the object, that is where? At infinity. Because the object placed at infinity. So whenever light rays are coming from an object placed at infinity, will be parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? So parallel rays. So whenever a ray of light is parallel to the principal axis, it will pass through its focus on other side. That is rule. So already we know that rule. Am I right? Yes. Then after passing through the focus, here the two refracted rays converge, which means intersect together at the focus. So already we know an image is formed where the two refracted rays intersect together. So here the two refracted rays intersect together at the focus. So at the focus, image will be formed. Am I right? At the focus, image will be formed. So this image size is very small compared to the object placed at infinity. So this is considered as a highly diminished image. Is it clear? So next, this image is inverted image, which means a real image, okay, because that is formed on the principal axis. So whenever an image is formed on the principal axis or below the principal axis, that is considered as a real image. So all real images are inverted image. That is all completed. Okay, so first question completed. Very simple. Okay. Next, I am going to place the object where? First we have placed the object at infinity. After that I am going to place the object where? Beyond the 2f. Where? Beyond the 2f. Do you know what is the beyond the 2f? Which means closer to the 2f dash. Is it clear? That is second one. We will see that. Look at here. So after infinity, where I am going to place the object? Beyond the 2f dash. Is it clear? Yes. So when the object placed at here, beyond the 2f dash, at beyond 2f dash. Beyond 2f dash. Is it clear? Yes, very simple. Consider convex lens. We need to make into large size. Yes, look at here, the beautiful convex lens. Yes, the center point of a convex lens. What is that? That is optical center O. Optical center O. Alright. And imaginary line which passes through the optical center. And imaginary line which passes through the optical center. What is that? That is principal axis. Yes. Then this is focus, first focus, then this is twice of its focus. Alright, twice of its focus. Then this is second focus, and this is twice of its second focus. Twice of its second focus. So very simple. Is it clear? Very simple. Okay, where I am going to place the object now? I am going to place the object beyond the 2f dash, which means here. Look at here. Here. Okay, keep this point in your mind. We always place the object above the principal axis, not below the principal axis. We always place the object above the principal axis. Keep this concept in your mind. Okay, that's why I have placed the object on, okay, which means above the principal axis. Is that clear? Yes. So this is object. Consider this is object. That is object. Is it clear? Yes. So from the object, light rays are coming. Alright, from the object light rays are coming. So many light rays are coming from the object placed at beyond the 2f dash. Where? Beyond the 2f dash. Is that clear? Look at here. Light rays are coming each and every point, each and every part of the object. Is that clear? Light rays are coming at top of the object, at middle of the object, as well as at bottom of the object. Is that clear? But I am going to take just 2 rays. Is it clear? I am going to take just 2 rays because just 2 rays needed to make an image. Okay, already we know. So when 2 refracted rays are intersect together, there will be image formation. Is it clear? So to form an image, just 2 rays are needed. Just 2 rays are needed. Is it clear? So very important. So that's why I am going to take just 2 rays. Is it clear? Yes. So consider an object. You place that where? So beyond the 2f dash. Is it clear? Yes. So consider ray of light. Consider ray of light is coming from an object placed at beyond the 2f. Which is parallel to the principal axis, like this. Which is parallel to the principal axis. Which is parallel to the principal axis. So what will happen next? Next, what will happen? If a ray of light is parallel to the principal axis, it will pass through its focus. Alright, that is rule. Already we know the rule clearly. It will pass through its focus. Yes? Focus. Like this. Alright? Pass through its focus. Very easy. Next, consider a secondary. Now consider a secondary. That ray of light which passes through its focus. Where? Which passes through its focus. Which passes through its focus. Now use the second rule. What is the second rule? If a ray of light passes through its focus, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? Then it becomes parallel to the principal axis after passing through it. So here refraction takes place here. Then after refraction, what happens? It becomes parallel to the principal axis like this. Parallel to the principal axis. Very simple. Okay, so this is refracted ray and this is also refracted ray. Here where will the image be formed? Where? This is refracted ray 1, this is refracted ray 2. So when two refracted rays intersect together, which means join together, there will be image formation. Am I right? So here image formed here. Image formed here. Image formed between F and 2F. Am I right? Between F and 2F. Is it clear? So very simple. Very simple one. Is it clear? First consider convex lens, optical center O and two foci are placed at equal distances, and 2F and 2F are both are what is that? Twice of its focal length. Am I right? Even in second case, this is second case. In second case, we place the object beyond the 2F dash. This is 2F dash. Here object is placed beyond, which is closer to some distance between them. Between what is the some distance closer to the 2F dash. Is it clear? Here the object is placed beyond the 2F dash. Is it clear? The object placed on the above the principal axis. Above the principal axis, so many light rays are coming from an object placed at beyond the 2F dash. Okay, we need just two rays. Look at here. The first ray is coming from an object placed beyond the 2F dash. That is parallel to the principal axis. This one parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? Yes. If a ray of light is parallel to the principal axis of convex lens, it will pass through its focus. Am I right? Here refraction takes place, and after refraction it passes through the focus. Is it clear? Yes. Next a ray of light which passes through its focus. Directly through its focus. Is it clear? Yes. The ray of light which falls on the surface of convex lens, what will happen? Due to refraction, that ray of light direction should change. Am I right? Now use second rule. So if a ray of light passes through its focus, then it becomes parallel to the principal axis. Am I right? Yes. Then after refraction, this ray of light, it becomes parallel to the principal axis. Is it clear? Yes. Here, so this is one refracted ray and this is one refracted ray. So here, two refracted rays meet at a point here. Okay, so whenever two refracted rays meet at a point, there will be image formation. Am I right? So image formed between 2F and F. Where? Between 2F and F. Is it clear? Yes, very simple. So look at here. Here the image is formed below the principal axis. Am I right? Look at here. Below the principal axis. That's why I have made into inverted symbol. Okay, because it's an inverted image, which means a real image. Is it clear? Yes. So what is the position of the object? Position of the object beyond 2F dash. Is it clear? Then what is the position of the image? Position of the image between F and 2F. Alright, between 2F and 2F. Is it clear? Yes. Next, what is the nature of the image? Whether it is virtual image or real image? That is real image, because here the image is formed below the principal axis. So if the image is formed below the principal axis, it is considered as a real image. So real image or inverted image. Is it clear? Next one, what is the size, sir? What is the size of the image here? Look at here. So this is object size, then this is image size. Can you see clearly this? Here the size of the image is diminished, which means smaller than the size of the object. Is it clear? Look at here. The size of the image is smaller than the size of the object. So if the size of the object is 5 centimeter, so what will be the size of the image? It will be lesser than the 5 centimeter. So it may be 4 centimeter. 4 centimeter. Is it clear? Very simple. So now fill the tabular column. First one, position of the object beyond 2F dash. Position of the object beyond 2F dash. Next, position of the image. Position of the image is formed between F and 2F. Am I right? So image formed between F and 2F. Is it clear? F and 2F. What is the nature of the image? Whether it is a real image or virtual image, it is a real image, because here image is formed below the principal axis. So this is real and Inverted image. Real and inverted image. What is the size of the image, sir? Size of the object is a diminished image, which means smaller than the size of the object. So it is diminished. It is diminished. Very simple. Very simple. Don't get confusion. So when we place the object at infinity, the image is found at focus, and that image is real and inverted image, and that is highly diminished. Next, second case, so when the object is placed at beyond the 2f plus, but beyond the 2f plus, the image is found between f and 2f, then the image is real and inverted image, then size of the image is diminished, which means it's smaller than the size of the object. Is that clear? So very simple. Okay, so in this class, so we have seen the two positions of the object. Okay, two positions of the object. Okay, the remaining will start in next class. Okay, next we are going to place the object at different position from the convex lens. Next we will see where will be the image form at different positions. Is that clear? Yes. Thank you, students.